What's going on, everybody? My name's Paul. Thank you for joining me here at All In today. So, hopefully you guys are all caught up. Of course, we're moving on to Act 4. The last episode we did was the interlude, and that was something. A lot of good backstory stuff there, so if you missed it, I do recommend you go back, just because it's going to fill in, what we've already been through. And it kind of, I guess, gives you an insight into what we're going to be heading into today. We're going to be on a boat. We know that. So let's go ahead and get this started. Act 4. Only one more act after this one. Pretty excited. I truly don't even know what to expect. Animatronic mammoth. I should have expected so. Manual 5.4 Context Backlash. General wear of the gestural gear mounting apparatus 5A-1 may result in undesirable play between teeth in the context and history state machine gears, causing stuttering, slippage, resetting, skipping. Well, guess it could be slippage. Well, this is not helpful at all. It could be slippage. If left unresolved, a gear slop can gradually throw limbs out of alignment, blend motions, and decontextualize gestures. See also Section 1.8 General Troubleshooting and 5.3 Gesture Context. Troubleshooting, okay. Gesture context, okay, what else is in here? What else is in here? Table of contents. Introduction, installation, orientation, order of... Wait. That's out of order. But anyways, order of operations, the passage of time, gestures, final notes. That'll do, book. He throws the manual into the river. Is that Junebug? I must be missing a page or something. Maybe I ought to read it back to front. My savior, our friend here is in a bad way. Any insights? Junebug. I try to stay clear of high voltage these days. Time to put the mammoth out to pasture, Will. I try to stay clear of high voltage these days. I don't at all blame you, especially down here on the water. I mean, sure, it's dangerous, but this is where she lives. And what brings you down the Echo tonight? Just tagging along. I always end up here, eventually. I'm just tagging along. Ha! That doesn't sound like you. What does that mean? We dragged some folks to a show. I'm returning the favor. I'm sure your new friends appreciate the company. It's no shame to be lonesome. We picked you up at the bureau tonight. Never seen you that far upriver before. I hope that doesn't mean you've been traveling on the Zero. Yeah, have you been there? The Zero? The bureau has great acoustics. Oh no, not me. This old river rat steers clear of weird highways. I've been traveling this river for more than half my life. More or less alone. I think I've seen it change quite a bit in all those years, but I can't say for sure. The water has a peculiar way of making a person forgetful. Some nights I remember a place, but it's full of strange new people, and some nights I meet an old friend on an unfamiliar shore. I wonder what kind of night this is. Well, hopefully it's a night where you can get your mammoth fixed, because he's kind of loud and grindy. Act 4, Scene 1. The Mucky Mammoth. Will Kate. I don't know who Kate is. Let's go see who Kate is. Is that a dog? Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh. Kate, how's that cold river spray treating you? I thought I saw squinting. It's hard water. Hard on the eyes. It still irritates mine a little, and I'm piling a tugboat through it 6 nights a week. Don't be too shy to close them in public. Your eyes, I mean. People just assume you're thoughtful. You need tea. So, agro, cybe, agrita, definitely. Peppermint, dried spring, agritas, milk thistle, and dried reishi. Okay. What are all those? What are all those for? How far from Dogwood right now? What are all those for? Ice train, dried spring, a Gracchus masked the taste of the rest of it. Dried reishi in particular has an eccentric flavor profile. It's mushroom based. I'm a big believer in fungal pharmacy. Well, I bet you are over here micro-tripping. Microdosing? Yeah, it's one of those. How far are we from Dogwood Drive? How's the water looking tonight? Is that your dog? Yeah, that's Valkyrie. I call her Val. She's a rescue. Isn't she dignified? I've always thought so. Very dignified. Is that your cat too, below deck? Is that your cat too, below deck? Huh? I thought that was your cat. He came on board with you at the bureau. Oh yeah, we did. There was a cat. Never mind. Remember there was a cat at the edge? I remember now. Well, it wouldn't be the first time some strange animal hitched a ride. I hope you enjoy the trip on our little mammoth. Take advantage of all the amenities. Fresh air, cozy bunks, hot tea, the video room. There are some pretty interesting tapes down there, actually. Unusual, I mean. Weird. Watch that VCR. Doesn't take your hand off, though. It's untrustworthy. What's wrong with the VCR? I could take a look. What kind of weird tapes? Let's offer to fix the VCR. Oh, please do. I don't know anything about electronics. Maybe try a few different tapes. You'll get the picture. Hey, do me a favor. Go ask Will how the repairs are going and if he needs anything. We're coming up on the next stop here. Just refueling and picking up a few things. I could grab a bolt or some wire or something. Whatever he needs. Well, eyes on the road. Okay. Well, let's go. We check a talk to the dog. Alright, Will. How is this whole thing coming along? Still grinding over here, I hear. I like how the mammoth just sits cross-legged. Gotta be hurting its back. What's up, Will? Singing quietly. For we on mold and whiskey fed, and to Shannon. Oh, wet gears. Wet gears? Did you build this thing? Did you build this thing? No. This thing's probably older than I am. Got some gray in her belt. There. Calcium deposits, I guess. To be honest with you, I'm not really qualified for this work. Kate's a friend. You know how it is, don't you? Kate was asking if you need anything when we stop. How do you two know each other? No, what's your story, Will? Kate was asking if you need anything when we stop. Hell, I don't know. Scratch ticket? I think she meant like parts or... Sure, okay. How do you two know each other? I think she meant like parts. I wouldn't know if I did, huh? How do you and Kate know each other? So, ever walk through rolling farmland? Just drove, I guess. Sure, along the highway. Along the highway, that's what I mean. Or smaller roads. Well, I sure did. I slipped under or over fences, and I walked barefoot with the seeds when they were just planted until the earth with my toes. Hey, I should tell you where I left my shoes. Did you know I'm a classically trained organist? It's true. Look at these long fingers and pedal gripping toes. It doesn't matter. A minor in French literature earned me a position teaching Artrod to Zola at the university. Well, some shitty governor cut state funding for our department, and I was demoted to mopping floors, running wiring through walls or in dangerous places. I even operated the soundboard at the student theater. I left my shoes there at the university. It was a protest. Walk without shoes for something important or tragic. I ended up by the shore, and soon I was drifting along the Echo. It ran for a while above ground then. It doesn't anymore, but I prefer subterranean waters anyways. Kate brings me along and I record what I see and hear. I try to help with maintenance. I drop off the mail and pick up the trash. On occasion, I take the helm. Anyway, that's all I try to remember anymore. I listen to the river stories, and my own stories get fainter and fainter. Well, I'll just keep drying gears, I guess. I mean, sure. Ezra runs up to Shannon. Shannon, whoa, slow down and slippery on deck. Ezra, do you have batteries? Yeah, of course. What for? Johnny said I could use his tape recorder, but it needs a battery. Oh, fun. Well, Shannon searches her pockets. Here, 4 different kinds. Surely one of these should fit. Thank you. I guess let's continue to talk to Will. Oh, now I'm Ezra. Well, alrighty there, Will. You got your battery, small man. Go get you some tape. Oh, okay. Ooh, that's my girl Blue up there. Love her. Love that hat too. Looking good. Well, I'm gonna walk around the deck real quick just to see if he can see anything, and then we'll move forward. I would very much like to go pet this dog. I'd very much like to go pet both of these dogs, to be honest. It doesn't look like I can go up there, though. What a bummer. Why would you put dogs in a game if I can't pet them? Yeah, let's go inside. Doesn't seem like there's anything. Also, I think I got some treats for Blue before. What the heck did I do with them? Musicians, cat. Can't seem to talk to the cat. Let's talk to the musicians. See what they're up to. Johnny the Junebug. Really? You were entranced. You don't remember this? Clara. It's okay. We've all seen a lot of concerts. Junebug. Cyrano opened. His tape machine was broken or something. It got really cosmic. Johnny. Right. At the flower shop. I remember that show. Sorry, Clara. Well, you have the second chance to hear it tonight. To Ezra. That was fast. Got the batteries? Let's see. Perfect. This one will do. So you hit this button here to record. Hold it right here so you don't cover the microphone with your hand. I bet you'll find a lot of good sounds just around the tugboat. There's plenty of tape in there, so don't be stingy with it. Just record anything that catches your ear. It really changes the way you listen. For the better, I mean. How long is this trip? To Clara. Are you playing a concert tonight? I could record that. Yeah, Clara here came all the way from Lithuania just to do this Echo River gig. Haha, it's a tour. Tomorrow. I'll be in Nashville and then Atlanta and then over to the coast. Brutal. Well, we're lucky she's making a stop. Johnny and I saw her play once and I remember loving it. Johnny was moved. Speaking of Serrano, it's his night at the rum colony. Kate said she usually stops off there. Well, that's ideal. But I'm supposed to meet a lady there to look at some old engine parts about 3 hours ago. Junebug is never on time, but I feel that. 3 hours goes fast at the rum colony, ma'am. I bet she's still there. I hope we don't stop there too long. My concert is soon. I don't want to keep them waiting. Nah, it's river time. Nobody expects you to be punctual. To Ezra. Hey, why don't you give the tape recorder a try? See if the cat over there has anything it wants to say. I often use found sounds in my music. If you find some interesting sounds tonight, you can help me out. That's pretty nice of you, Clara. Anyways, what's up, cat? Wait, why is my... Oh, boy. This can't be good. I hope I'm not drinking a beer. Wait. Okay. You know, it's the strangest thing. I can't remember why I came up here. Fresh air? Neither can I. Maybe you should slow down. Conway, man. Come on, bro. Nah, I'm good. It's just that thing about, what was it? When you walk through a door? When you go into the kitchen for something and as soon as you pass from one room into another, you forget what you wanted. You have to walk back out just to remember. Like you left a part of your brain behind. Hey, I wonder if I could follow that brain crumb trail all the way back to the room I was born in. Conway cranes his neck over the railing. Looks cold down there. And dark. You weren't in the cabin long. Get any sleep? Shan, just resting my eyes for a minute. I had a weird dream. You found beer. I'm gonna push this thread, man. You found beer. There's a cooler full down there. They say it's just floated by, if you believe that. Got caught on some netting, and they hauled it aboard, a bounty. Anyway, there's a sign by the cooler. Take what you need and leave the rest. Shan leans over the railing and looks at the river below. There's all kind of trash down here. It does look cold, doesn't it? Did you see Ezra go in? It does look cold, doesn't it? Yeah, better keep that kid away from the edge. A person could easily fall in. He's been exploring. Should I be worried? He seems to keep himself entertained. Should I be worried? Conway, I'm fine. I was talking about Ezra. Sure you are. What's up, huh? You look like there's something you want to ask. Fine, you can ask it. One question. I thought you didn't drink. Do you really have to go to work at hard times? I thought you didn't drink. Well, I didn't. I mean, I did, and then I didn't, and then I did again. That's how it always goes. I drift out. Finally wind up back at Lysette's with my head between my legs, saying never again. 15 months this last time. I think I hung on because I knew there wouldn't be much, wouldn't for much, what? I knew there wouldn't for much longer be anywhere to go back to. She went to live with her sister now, and she probably won't remember me for long anyways. One time she picked me up out of a ditch by the road, blackout drunk and at dawn. I came around later that night. She'd taken care of me. I told her I didn't deserve it, and she said I didn't have to deserve it. She sounds like a saint. We should all have someone like that. So you'll go to the distillery instead? I've got to repay my debt. Hell, I should be grateful for the opportunity. If you want to die with any dignity, you've got to settle up. That's why it's such a damn shame when people go sudden. Damn. I don't think it's any coincidence that the arm that I'm holding the beer with is, you know, like that skeleton, the skeletons we found. I'm sure I talk too much. Everyone on this river does. The problem is that we listen twice as much as that. We're only telling you half of the stories we hear. Kate told me that I ought to have been a photographer. She said, you have an uncanny way of having been in the place at the time the thing happened there, and that's the hardest part of taking a photograph anyways. Nice of her to say, but it isn't true. Though I know just about every story on this river, most of them I've picked up second, third, fourth hand, and so on listening. See? I turned down the audio just a little bit. Hopefully it's not too low. Now I know what you're gonna ask, so I'm gonna answer it. Yes, I'm sure they're all true. I personally believe a story gets more true as it's tossed around from brain to brain, and the whole community brings their insight to bear on the brittle facts of experience. There are a few Echo River stories I witnessed directly. I saw that big owl migration pass through, and might have heard about that. You might have heard about that. I was there when the old train station flooded. I saw the ghost of Stephen Bishop brew up a batch of white lightning on a raft. Or anyway, I talked to a few sailors who had recently crossed paths with him, and I suspect sampled his wares. One night when I was working on the Mucky Mammoth, we picked up a gaggle of passengers headed down to a mail drop by the silo of Late Reflections. I knew a couple of them in passing, a pair of traveling musicians, whom I often encountered on the river. The others were strangers to me at the time, a young woman, a small boy, and an old man whose name I didn't catch. Oh, and a smelly old dog. Oh, so this is the passing talking about us. Oh, I just noticed that there's like weird stuff floating in the waters. We docked at a gas station so Mammoth could refuel. Ezra stayed on the tugboat and looked around the map room. Ezra followed June and I mean, I'd like to see the map room, but also I feel like if I choose that, then we aren't going to get to see the gas station, so I guess let's check out the gas station. Act 4, Scene 2. A gas station. Gase. We cut it close. I usually find this place upriver. Everybody's on the lake tonight. The gas station moves around, running on fumes. The gas station moves around? Sure, it's not anchored or anything. Could be anywhere up and down the Echo. You just kind of run into it when you need it, or hopefully a little before you need it. I usually stop here once a night, though. To be honest, I'm not sure it's even the same one. Doesn't have a name or anything. I never really pay attention to who's behind the counter. Anyways, it's nice to see you two. Most of my regular passengers must have gotten held up somewhere else in their journey tonight. It's that storm, I think. Watching Ezra sprint past. Look at him go. That kid has a lot of energy. It's got to be past his bedtime or something, right? He's nocturnal. I don't think he has a bedtime. He's a maverick. Sounds familiar. You don't have any of your own, I mean. No, I guess not. I just realized you two come through here so often. We chat about all kinds of stuff, but I never thought to ask about family. We're all the family we need. Who has the time? Yeah, sure. You've got to prioritize. So, how about that storm upstairs? Did you two get caught in it? I heard it kind of roamed around uncertain. I'm sure we'll hear all about it tomorrow. Flooding, property damage, probably killed a few tomatoes. It's got the river churning and everyone headed to the lake here. where the water's calmer. I myself don't mind navigating a choppy river. Not at all. I've got a good feel for it. Plus, it's better for fungal growth. High water consumes the cave moths, and their wet wings clump together into these little balls of nutrient-dense mushroom food. That's dark. What? Jammed by current here and there between the rocks. You have never seen a mushroom grow like an old soggy cave moth carcass. Okay, it's really weird. Amazing. If I could get a day off, Val and I would be out there all day tomorrow to harvest. I mean it. They'll be ready by tomorrow. A mushroom will grow just as fast as you can pump water into it. Hey, are you two headed out this way tomorrow? Maybe I could send Val ashore with you for a few hours. She's got a remarkable nose for mushrooms. You wouldn't even need to know what to look for. Put a bag around her neck and she'll just bring them back to you. Yeah, no room on the bike for a dog, Cricket. We don't know where it will be tomorrow. I should have figured. Seems you two are always on the move. It does seem that way. So, I should get back aboard. No rush, I just want to brew some tea before we get underway. Headed into the station? Yeah, picking out a snack for Johnny. Thought I'd grab some black coffee for the old man. He's looking a bit waterlogged. Sure, don't want him falling asleep on you. Nah, he'll be alright. He seems like the type who can hold his liquor. Seems like he has a little experience, I mean. Hey, while you're in the cabin, could you remind the gas station attendant this fuel is on my tab? Charge the Monkey Mammoth. Hey, do you remember in the first episode we saw these dudes that was pushing a plane? I mean, it can't be this plane, right? Because that had wheels and this has, you know, the whatever. But they are coming to a gas station. Oh, and Will wanted a scratch ticket. Thanks. To Junebug. I think I'll just watch the lake for a bit, man. That's weird. Are they gonna park here? I kind of want to see what they do. I mean, they might just go by, but, you know. I just want to see. I mean, it can't be a coincidence, can it? Or it could be. Because I still want to know what happened with them. Like, did they ever get gas? I guess they're just going to go. Attendant. Looking for crystals? Snacks. Why do you assume I'm looking for crystals? I need a scratch ticket. Why do you assume I'm looking for crystals? We've got them on sale. All kinds of folks coming in here looking for crystals. There's a few over there with milky white shocks through the middle, like you caught a piece of a cloud. People seem to like those a lot. Who's this guy? Yep. Popular crystals. You work on the Mammoth? I can add it to your tab. I'm a passenger. Oh, you know the tugboat? The Captain Kate said I said I'd have to remind you. Sure, they're out here every night. It's okay. I have one of those faces. Forgettable. I wouldn't say that. Does it bother you? I wouldn't say that. It's okay. I've learned to accept it, in fact. I've learned to cherish it. There's dignity in being forgotten, letting the crowd flow around you unspoiled. I used to live in a city, I mean a real city, Cleveland, Ohio. I had some family money then, and I didn't have to work. I lived in hotels. In daylight, I walked wherever the people were. My only duty was to the crowd. I was its observer, its historian, its detective, its poet. Like this little dude's tugboat thing. I need me one of those. Well, the money ran out, and I dispersed with the rest of them. I took my duties with me here to Lake Leith, and the Echo River. I live behind this counter, anonymous, invisible, but I live with dignity. And yourself? Sure, something like that. No, I don't think so. Sure, something like that. I enjoy the company of strangers. I like to keep moving. I enjoy the company of strangers. They enjoy the company too, as fleeting as it is, sufficient unto itself. We keep all the crystals on that shelf over there. Buy one, get one free, of equal or lesser symmetry. Alright, well, let's go take a look at them, I guess. The crystals are rough, dirty, some are damp. They must have come out of the river. That attendant is a trip. Johnny seemed distant. That attendant is a trip. letting the crowd flow around you unspooled, you said. Anonymous, invisible, but I live with dignity, he said. Junebug tries to scrape some green algae off a larger specimen, examining it from the kind of cloudy interior and formation the attendant said was so popular. What a depressing outlook. Who knows? Maybe he's onto something. Ha! Cute. What? And a few numbers are woven through the algae. But what has to happen to a person to make them think that way? Does Johnny ever feel like that? This isn't algae at all. It's decayed plastic bag caught on the rock. Who's Norm? Norm to the attendant. Shit, that floodwater washed you halfway up out to the sea. I was looking for you down by New Königsberg. Same as usual, but it ain't nobody there, and the river's deep as an elephant's. Noticing Junebug. Oh, didn't see you there, ma'am. Pardon my language. What elephant? Where you headed? What elephant? Ha, alright. You're no paper flower, I see that. Extending his hand warmly. I expect you must be a Loretta. Enchanted to meet you. Sorry I'm late. Hey, is that coming on too flowery or something? Enchanted? Repeating it now, I feel a little silly. I'm not Loretta, but I think you'll do fine with enchanted. Enchanted sounds pretty old-fashioned. Is that the kind of gal Loretta is? I guess I don't know. But now I'm double embarrassed. How do you know Loretta? Do I look like her? You picked a funny place to meet. How do you know Loretta? I really don't. I met Loretta on the computer. We met each other there, I mean. Or I guess we spoke through the computer and agreed to meet. I don't know the terminology. I haven't dated in quite a while. Back when I met Greta, that's my wife. Excuse my ex. Or maybe I am her ex? I don't know how to say it. Anyway, back then there wasn't even such a thing as computers at all. I mean, I guess there probably was, but I never heard of one. I worked in textiles. So, here I am. Didn't work out with Greta, so what's your plan when Loretta shows up? Didn't work out with Greta? She left me. I'm sure I can't blame her, huh? Damn it all, I guess I probably miss her. I wonder if she'll agree to meet me again. I'm sure she'll understand with the weather and all. I wouldn't, if I thought I'd been stood up. I'm sure she'd understand with the weather and all. Nice of you to say so. Well, I guess I'll head on back. Hey, supposing Loretta doesn't want to see me after all. My card is full. I'm out of your league. My card is full. Oh, no, sorry, that's not what I meant. Actually, I wanted to ask you for some advice. I had to type up a sort of autobiography for the computer date, and I spent a lot of time on it, but I only got one reply, and that was Loretta herself. I was happy to meet... I was trying to remember if we met somebody or heard of somebody named Loretta, but I don't think we did. I was happy to meet her, but supposing she lost interest now. Do you think you could maybe give me some feedback? It's only a paragraph or so. I have it all memorized. I spent so damn long writing it. Okay, here goes. Or here's how it goes. I'm a good-natured man, retired and spend most of my time sailing the Echo River, riding currents and subterranean gas in that strange invisible wind that moans out of the small tunnels along the bank. Seeking a companion to map the river with me. I have 2 grown children, but they live far away. No goofballs. Okay, what do you think? The thing about the wind is a little much. Why mention your children? What was that about goofballs? What was that about goofballs? I mean, like serious inquiries only. Worried about people wasting your time? You might miss out on some really great goofballs. Haha, you may be right. You might be right about that. The thing about the wind is a little much. The thing about the wind is, yeah, you're probably right. I wanted to show my poetic side. I'll save that for the date. Why mention your children? Oh, I figure it'll come up somehow. I don't know how people feel about dating with kids. Like I said, it's been a while. Are you proud? Yeah, sure I am. My son is a school teacher and my daughter owns a printing press. Good people. Yeah, maybe I just mentioned it there hoping I'll get asked to brag a little. I like Norm. He seems like a good dude. Alright, thanks for your help, ma'am. You've given me a lot to think about. I'm ready to get back on that computer. You have a good night now. What's left of it, anyway. What do you think of that, the other dog we got on board, Val? Mushroom hunting, huh? What do you think of that other dog? Blue's a sleepy old hound dog. I know she isn't doing any mushroom hunting, that's for sure. Blue came along with that old man drinking up all your beer. He's alright, though. I'm a little worried about that guy, to be honest. Good thing he seems to be traveling with friends. I don't know, man. To be honest, I'm worried. I mean, he's a good guy, but I'm worried. So, could you fit in the sidecar? So, would you like to ride with us for a day? I bet you would. We're good company. I guess you'd miss Kate, even just for a day. I bet you would. We're good company. Maybe we can still talk her into it. Nah, I guess it's settled anyways. Nice to think about, though. Yeah, old Blue is his dog, man. I guess there's truly not much left for me to do, huh? I just want to see if there's anything. This might be the end of the pier. Yeah, it is. Okay. So let's go talk to old Johnny. What's going on, man? Oh, wait. No, that's not the dog. I was thinking of Blue. That's Val or whatever the dog's name is. What's that? It's a crystal. I bought it for you. Wow. Thank you, ma'am. Hey, could you hold on to it for a minute? I'm going to look around inside. Wish me luck. Good luck. Don't take too long. Good luck. I guess let's go back inside. And here comes somebody else. Let's talk to the attendant. Where do these crystals come from? Hey man, how's your night? Hey man, how's your night? Quiet. Where are you headed? Helping some new friends make a delivery, or along for the ride anyways. Just following Junebug. She was in here a minute ago. Okay, yeah, I had a feeling you two might be traveling together. I never travel, but I do love travelers. That's what I like about this job. The travelers come to me. Do you ever get lonely here? Do you live nearby? Meet some interesting people? Do you ever get lonely here? Yes, I do. Well, let me know if it can... Oh, okay. Well, I kind of wanted to ask you a lot more questions than that, but... Did Johnny talk your ear off out here? Big plans for the night? Us? I think we'll just see where the river goes and at what pace. Me and Johnny should probably start looking for a place to stop and recharge for the day. We're just seeing where the river goes. No sense rushing it, right? You can't rush the river. You look like you've got that figured out already, Val. Val's a good dog. I love her. Al? Glory, it is good to be among friends. Suit yourself. Okay. That's what, okay. What are you so excited about? Wow, I should take a page out of your book, man. I'd give you any advice I could, little guy, but I think the most important thing I can say is, Glory, it is good to be among friends. Helps keep things in perspective, I guess. Okay, I'll see what I can do with that. Helps keep things in perspective. It's a ritual of remembrance for me, tonight particularly so. It's my birthday. I am 5 years old. Do you know why I say that? Well, I'm gonna tell you. 5 years and some days ago, I set out on the Echo River alone, or so I thought at the time. I was looking for an ice floe. They are occasionally rumored to travel our humble artery on their way from who knows where to who knows where. Who knows why? It's a mystery. Okay. An hour into the journey, my lantern gave out. Now, I always carry 3 or 4 spares. You'll never catch me in the dark again. Lesson learned, buddy. But that night, when that lantern went out, I was stuck in the dark. I kept my arms extended, running my fingers along the cave wall, trying to keep my bearing as best as I could, and at least make sure I wasn't going in circles. I just prayed I'd find another traveler who knew his way back to the lake or above ground, or even just a crack in the rock to get a glimpse of the moonlight. I had a large bag of apples with me. After a long while, maybe a day, I was getting weak, so I took my hands down from the rock to tear the bag open. Well, when I reached back out, I couldn't find the cave wall anymore, or any other. I was totally unmoored, buddy, totally adrift, and it was so dark. I started counting time and apples eaten. I drifted in despair for 4 apples. Then I schemed and planned and dreamed for 2 apples. Finally, I came to accept my fate, lost at sea. And this phase, I think, would have continued indefinitely had I not come down to that very last damn apple. Picture me, filling around in the empty bag, certain that somehow there was another one of those fist-sized chunks of life-giving fruit, already softened by the time and probably an unappetizing brown. Nope, that was it. Just as I was about to bite into my last meal, I felt a tickle on my upper lip. It hatched. Right then. Couldn't have been a moment later. Ooh, or I would have eaten it. The last apple was infested by a damn fruit fly maggot. Well, that should have been the end of it. I should have eaten that apple and that fly while I was at it, and put it into our little food chain suicide pact. But I waited, out of mercy. After all, this fly was basically a newborn child, right? A gross insect child. But still a child, right? Born into darkness and famine. Hungry and alone. I mean, can you imagine that? No other flies out there on the boat, and never would be. No other flies to welcome him into the world. I mean, no fly culture, no fly society, and no fly history. A true orphan. I started to get depressed just thinking about it all. Worked out a thick tear. I'm not ashamed to say. Well, that fly landed on my cheek, right under my left eye, right on the salty teardrop, and then blinded glory, his ass lit up like a candle. That wasn't a fly, buddy. That was a damn lightning bug. So that's how come I'm here today with you folks, only because I found my way out of that strange river cave by the dim lit rear of some orphan insect hatched out by my last rotten apple. Glory, it is good to be among friends. That's a wild story. That was a that would have been a wild ride. Okay. I guess let's ride. That guy's a trip, the gas station attendant. Did you talk to him? It's funny, he actually reminds me of that frog we had for a bit. That frog you had for a bit. I thought that was a toad. I like to think he was part of the family, you know? Okay, so how does the gas station attendant remind you of a frog? He seemed more like a cat to me, the attendant, I mean. How does he remind you of a frog? Oh, I don't know. Because he liked to talk, I guess. Maybe we should pick up another one. A frog, or a cat, or an iguana, or something. What do you want a pet for? Feeling lonely, Cricket? Or maybe a third person to travel with? Feeling lonely, Cricket? Not exactly. Not like that guy in the gas station. That guy lets the world wash over him, static like a rock. But you and me both together, I mean, we're always moving, always changing. I think it's because we feel safe with each other, you know? Free. We can try stuff out, change our clothes, swap parts around, just play. I'm not lonely, just curious, with another person to play with. What else would it be? You may be right, Cricket. I don't think it's a good idea. We can keep it in mind. Let's not rush in anything. Yeah, maybe you're right, Cricket. You really think so? Wow, I thought I'd have to wear you down a little, like I did with the gerbils. Oh, that's Kate. Time to hit the road. River, I mean. Okay. He's wanting to turn this thing into a throuple. See that small brick building? It used to be an upholstery shop. Now it's inhabited by a very skilled taxidermist whose art is greatly in demand. When it was an upholstery shop, it didn't see nearly as much business. The old shop's name has been lost to time and weather. This was decades ago, and the only trace of it now is the grayed frame of an old sign behind the new lettering, which now reads Trapper, Stalker, and Sportsman, and then below, smaller, no specimen is too exotic, no arrangement too fanciful. Some of the upholstery equipment is still there too, and still sees active uses. Elise is the resident artist, though she's not the owner of the shop. It's owned by my Aunt Ida. Ida sounds familiar. It's owned by a reclusive ex-convict named Judah. Very little is known about him. His crime is generally assumed to be violent or otherwise gruesome in some detail, though of course that's all speculation and probably comes from his association with the taxidermy business. Even though he never so much as skins a squirrel, he's more like a silent partner. I guess those are the ones you're supposed to keep an eye on. What is this? But Judah is old and keeps to himself, and the consensus seems to be that he's paid his debt to society, whatever that debt may have been. Shannon retreated to the TV room to browse the mammoth's video collection. Shannon followed the other travelers ashore to a drowsy beachside bar called the Rum Colony. Ugh. So, I guess what we're doing is like we could either be checking out things aboard the ship, or we could be getting off to check out, you know, what's along the river. But for me, I'm more interested about what's going on along the river, not really the ship. It's about the journey, you know, the places along the way. So let's go check out the Rum Colony. Though I do want to know what's up with those, what's going on with the videos. The Rum Colony. Ooh, got a flashlight. Yep, sounds like him. to Shannon. Our friend Sereno is booked here tonight. He's pretty good. He's a wizard of the lap steel guitar. Haha. Are you two coming ashore? How much time do you think we have here? Are you two coming ashore? Oh, sure. We'll be up in a minute. You couldn't hold me back. Oh, I don't know. Kate says just to wander back whenever. This is a take it easy kind of stop. She doesn't even blow the foghorn to round up the crew here. No point. Something about this spot is like wax in the ear when it comes to timetables and responsibilities. I was supposed to meet someone here earlier tonight about some bike parts. Hope she's still around. Oh, I'm sure she is, ma'am. Half sleeping into a fragrant mug with all the other wayward sailors. The lighting in this game looks really good. You know what? I don't even need that harsh light, to be honest. I'm just walking on this man's head. Can I shine my light on? What up, Rick? This music is so sweet. Don't you think so? It's like a flower. It's like a flower, I think. A delicious, heavy flower, like this flower in my drink. It makes my eyelids feel like petals, wet with early morning dew. Have you ever slept on the beach? Can't say I've had the opportunity. Doesn't the sand get all everywhere? Oh, probably. I'll deal with that tomorrow. I certainly won't deal with it tonight. Tonight, I'm just sipping this. I forgot what it is, what it's called. They put a pale pink flower in it. Isn't that tranquil? Oh gosh, I'm so stressed out. You sounded pretty relaxed. You don't seem stressed out. What are you stressed out about? You and me both. You don't seem stressed out. I do a good job at hiding it. It's this serene beach, this sweet music. It's these tranquil drinks. Here my weary nerves can rest, although my soul is heavy with distress. Everyone deserves to rest, don't you think? Even you and I? Sure we do. This looks like a good place to rest. I like the music here. I like this drink with the pale pink flower in it. I like the sand and the dark water, like a deep mirror. I like the whispers of my colleagues from the other side of the beach. You know, my colleagues and I are meant to be celebrating something of a milestone here this evening. Milestone? Well, don't want to keep you from your celebration. A milestone? It's true. Well, it's kind of hard to explain. Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces, the place we were at in Act 2. Ever heard of it? Of course, I met you there earlier tonight. Oh, yeah, Rick. Well, I don't want to keep you... Yeah, Rick, what's up? Oh, of course, good to see you again. Oh, wait, now I remember you came by to see Lula, Senior Clerk Chamberlain. Oh, our dear Lula, Miss Chamberlain. Tragically, she couldn't join us tonight. Jumped ship at the last minute. She said she had some packing to do. I wonder where she's going. She might be going back to Mexico, if I remember. Profound sigh. All this conversation is making me lightheaded. And I think I'll shut my eyes a bit, maybe just halfway. Now listen to the water and the sweet music and the whispers of my colleagues. Shop talk. Can you believe it? Still working. Always working. It's better, I think, to sleep. Yawns. Yes, better to sleep. Alright, man. Okay, so he only wakes up when I shine a light in his face. Yeah. Alright, let's leave this man alone. Walk around him. Walk around him? She's just gonna staring at him. Hello, happy to be in here now. I heard a shuffling. Are you dragging your feet? Or just enjoying the sand between your toes? Yeah, it's nice to slow down for a minute. Deep in thought, I guess, huh? It's nice to slow down for a minute. We have time. Lots of glass here. Patch's boy load the empties on the barge. I told them, try to keep it separated in its own little pile. That way, when we get to disposing of it, and environmentally minded folks present can easily set them aside for recycling. I love the river, but I don't care for the current. It's too relentless. Lake Leith, though, is calm, cold, and deep. At any opportunity, I'm ashore meditating. One day, I'll be left behind. I may be left behind. I wanted to ask you something. I thought of it earlier, but it didn't seem like the right time. I'm sure you know what I'm getting at. You want to know where we're going? You wanted to ask about my friend, the old man? You wanted advice from them? You wanted to ask about my friend, the old man? Oh no, I think I read him pretty clearly. He's an outwards reflecting kind of person. He reflects the world back out, largely uncolored. You and I are inward reflecting, I think. It means we prefer the nurture and best and worst of ourselves in quiet and interior spaces. And that's okay. Wouldn't you agree? I guess so. I'm not so sure, actually. Is that what you wanted to ask? No, it was. Well, I forgot it now. Typical. Damn it! Are you serious, man? Shine him in the face. Can you remember it now? Now do you remember? Alright. An untouched drink sits on the table, forgotten or abandoned or simply wasted. Okay. Wait. Shannon pulls a feather from the sand and brushes it clean. When she was a child, she collected feathers. Not the way a hobbyist collects trinkets, but the way a clump of dust collects more dust by static electricity. She deposited them on the kitchen table at the end of the day. Weaver's mother said it was unhygienic. Shannon's mother said that it was an American germaphobe bullshit and put them in a vase. Look at our boy. What's up, Conway? There she is. You have to try one of these flower drinks. I feel like I could drink 100 of them. Not too sweet, not too strong, you know? A real session drink. We'll be scraping you off the beach. No, it's not one of those. Not one of those really strong drinks. Just sort of... It doesn't taste like a flower. I mean, it's not like a flower smells, you know? Perfumed, sickly sweet. Like a star thistle flower. You know, my mother was obsessed with those awful weeds. We had a small house just about leaned up against a hill, and every spring that hill would explode with yellow star thistles. And she'd tear into them. Wild, I mean, really enraged by it. She said they were an invasive species, like foreign squatters on her land or something. I used to think she was such a wicked old lady to get so violent about it. After she died, I mean a few years after, I came by the house again. It was spring, but I didn't see a single yellow flower on that hill. She must have finally gotten them, or maybe they followed her home. More old stuff. I'm drowning in old stuff tonight. Feels like I've got it piled up all around me. Like one of those old guys you hear about who never threw anything away. You know what I mean? Hey, maybe you should slow down. Don't worry about all that stuff. Just try to stay in the here and now. Maybe you should slow down. Oh no, I don't think so. In fact, I could use a few more of these, indicating to a drink. Just take a book of matches to the room. That should clear everything right up. Know what I mean? Sorry, I'm not making any sense, am I? I just mean to say, I can't look at anything without remembering something else. And then that reminds me of something else. And I'm buried in it. I just need to get my head clear for a minute. Get a clear view of the day. Get oriented. There was a time when I felt this way. I'd bite the bullet, try to sober up and get a job. Is that why you're going to work for the distillery? I think I feel the same way. Maybe I'll have to find a new kind of work. Work is therapeutic for me. Is that where you're going to work, at the distillery? Maybe it is. Seems like a pretty simple answer, right? Just follow the work as long as you can. You've got me all figured out. Hey, I'm going to sit and look at the water for a minute. I'll talk to you later. Don't be a stranger. Shine this light. Sober up, fool. You're doing so well, man. What a disappointment. There's another flower, fool. Not flower, but right there. At first, Shannon mistakes the iridescent glimmer for a seashell washed up from the lake. Maybe some freshwater relative of the abalone, or even a pearl, but it's only a trading card. It must have been valuable to somebody, or it wouldn't be printed on this lustrous material. Whatever was on it was mostly worn away. All that's left is shiny backing of the word Gleaner's Ford. I see something shining over there, but I can't really grab it. I'm gonna comb this beach to see if I can find anything else. This kid is stuck. Look at that. That's a pathing issue right there. Let's see who else we can find. I don't need to go to the dock. Still got a lot more that I need to do here. Bureau, folks. The water is fine, invigorating, and makes me want to run. I could gallop up and down the beach like a horse. Clark Bohm. To Metzen. What's he yelling about? Clark Metzen. He wants to run on the beach like a horse, he says to Shannon. Oh dear, what's in these drinks? Pretty strong, huh? You folks work at the bureau? Your friend's laying in the sand over there. I think he's asleep. Poor Rick, he's a lightweight. I think he just drank too fast. It's easy to get carried away. Oh, he always gets so melancholy when he drinks. Remember the office picnic at the big flat rock? Oh, I remember. He was talking Lulu's ear off. She slipped away and he sat on the ground nursing that brown bottle, crying, sobbing about the days that are no more. Poor Rick. It'll never be. Invigorating. Young Lewis. Catch anything, Lewis? So, did you find what you're looking for? With Lula, I mean. Is she here? It's a work in progress. I know what you mean. I've been working on. I think I will go for a run along the beach as soon as I'm finished with this drink. Try not to yell so loud, Lewis. I'm afraid you'll shake the ceiling loose. Something glints black in the flashlight beam. Shannon brushes sand off of a damaged VHS tape. The smudge label on the spine reads, "Private. Do not watch, but do not erase." Can I grab it? Oh well. There's a bunch of stuff in this beach. Styrofoam cup is half buried in the sand, miraculously intact. It still has some coffee in it. Maybe it came from the bar, or maybe someone dropped it in here on their way to the bar. Maybe they weren't even headed to the bar originally, but drank their coffee too fast and needed a stiff counterbalance. Shannon thinks about the war of liquids in the, in the stomach. Coffee to settle a day, liquid to end it, apple cider vinegar to patch up the battlefield. Her mouth feels dry. She thinks about all the nervous casualties of the liquid war. Clumsy alchemists transmuting day into night. She thinks about a chalky gray-pink liquid her mother kept for upset stomachs that was stored in a coffee cup, too. Okay. About as far as we can go. I am not going to the dock. Stop asking me if I want to go to the dock, damn it. I'm doing things. I'm combing this beach for more memories and lost items. Okay, we can't go any further to the right. So I think really all that's left is going up to the actual bar. Alright, well, turn off our light and make our way. I just want to look around real quick. Looks like I can't actually. Yeah, I can talk to Sunny. What's up, Sunny? Hey, did you hear the ice caps are melting? I mean the polar ice caps, the one all the way at the top. Dawn to Shannon. Don't listen to him, hon. He's all doom and gloom tonight. Don't listen? That's the answer, Dawn. Well, what else can you do? Someday all of this will be underwater. We'll all be drowned. What can you do? You can recycle? Maybe it's better that way. You can recycle. Half measures avail us nothing. Don't be so pessimistic, Johnny. Sonny. Have another Mai Tai. I do love a good Mai Tai. She just sat, he just sat in the dark mood because, he's just in a dark mood because the bar is crowded tonight. He likes to spread out. Toxic runoff has decimated the deer population, right? Oh no. That's what they say in the recent study anyways, and I believe them. Acid rain, useless any day now. Sure, I heard it in a recent study, so I take it as gospel. Worthless gospel, but gospel nonetheless. Yeah, I'm trying not to think about it. Everyone should be. Sonny, you're insufferable. Oh wait, let's start it on. Toxic runoff. That's his latest rant, but I'm not surprised by anything anymore. Before this, it was bovine growth hormones and global warming. Nah, he's harmless. I just don't know him anymore, that's all. He takes bits and pieces of things he reads and synthesizes them all into some grand theory, and it's always the end of the world. But who could know that stuff, right? We can't even predict the weather. I mean, if you could take all these little pieces and predict how they're all going to interact, well, you know everything. I'll tell you what to do. I'll tell you what I do with that kind of knowledge. When I first met a man, I'd look at his shoes and that kind of books and what kind of books he reads and what he eats for breakfast, and I'd make damn sure we weren't doomed to spend our twilight years greedily emptying Mai Tais and arguing about toxic runoff. Well, you know what they say about hindsight. Here's to the better yesterday. Damn, man. This game is like sometimes funny, but just sometimes very pessimistic and depressing. There's a phone ringing. Hello? Hello? Yellow? That's how I like to answer. Yellow. Yeah, let me talk to Drew, please. Don't think I've seen anyone called Drew here tonight. What does Drew look like? You sure you have the right number? What does Drew look like? Kind of plump-cheeked, but not obscenely so. A person of many talents, you can tell immediately. No, I don't see anyone like that. You got that wrong. I don't see anyone like that. Did you check the stairwell, though? Drew sometimes sits over by the stairwell. No stairs, no stairwell, my friend. Why don't you just come down? No time. Hey, man, I've got other things to do. When you see Drew, just say I called, alright? Okay. I just got an achievement called patch speaking. That was weird. Junebug. Hey, guess who I just saw? Like an hour ago. That lady with the engine for sale? I don't even care. How are you, Patch? Lady with the engine for sale? You just missed her. Damn. You just missed her. I tried to hold her back, but she's all business. I got that impression. It's okay. We can't really afford it. How are you, Patch? That's okay. We can't really afford it. Hey, I'm sure another one will come up in the market soon. Hey, any of your friends want a drink? I've got time. Busy night, but everyone's deep in their straws by now. Why so busy? What have you been mixing up? We'll pass. Take it easy, Patch. What have you been mixing up? Well, let's see. What's good tonight? The light rum noir? What else what's that like? What else you got? No drinks for us, think. What's that like? Chill a tall glass with a little pineapple juice at the bottom. Then just keep pouring in white rum till it starts to turn black. Add gray curacao, simple syrup, and sugar. Some folks like green curacao. I always include an orange peel. What else you got? Strong legs? What's that like? 1 shot gold rum, 2 shots of spice rum, green curacao, refrigerate, throw an apple peel on top. What else you got? Frozen and salty? What's that like? 1 shot spiced rum, 2 shots of blue rum, orange curacao, shake, throw an orange peel on top. What else you got? Chill in a tall glass with a little orange curacao at the bottom, and then just keep pouring in light rum till it starts to turn brownish, and add blue curacao, green curacao, yellow food coloring. Some folks like gray curacao. Always include a little umbrella. Clear Devil. 1 shot dark rum, 2 shots dark rum, pineapple juice, stir, throw an orange peel on top. My Blue Heaven. Light rum and a little umbrella. That's it. People can't get enough. Dude, these are like the same. It feels like this is just randomly generated. Like they put a whole bunch of words and phrases in here. There's got to be an end to it, though. There's got to be. There has to be an end. Sweet Jesus, please, for the love of God, there has to be an end to it, right? But what if there's not? What if it just keeps going forever, you know? I think it might just keep going forever. I think that it just keeps going. It's just gonna keep going. I can't keep doing this. I can't, man. It's just gonna keep generating. I feel like it's just gonna generate forever, man. Forever. It's never gonna stop, right? I've seen the brownish death like 15 times, but it's always just a little bit different. It's never gonna stop. It never stops. I've got to stop it. Maybe that's what this is. It's just like never-ending drinks, and the answer is I have to stop. Oh shit, I accidentally stopped. No drinks for us, thanks, no problem. See you around. Well, alright, well that's that was totally worth it. Let's go see what this dude's up to. Alright, you got some good music going on or what? I am so glad to see you. These kooks are bumming me out, man. You see that guy in the sand over there? He rolled up kind of off center, you know, kind of leaning on the stage here, and he was like, "What kind of strings are those? Steel or nylon?" So rude. I'm sure you were cool about it. Nah, he's just drunk. I'm sure you were cool about it. Oh yeah, it's mandatory around here, man. It's what the people want. I'm just a humble artist, you know. Plus, it's better for tips. You can't look like you care about it, you know, even if it's your livelihood. A crowd can smell economic precarity, and it turns them off. I guess it's no fun to give someone money if they really need it. Too much responsibility. Hey, speaking of which, I'm about mid-set here. Can you take the can around while I play this next one? It's on the tape. I think you'll like it, man. Thanks. Sure, I guess. She didn't have to do that. Had to hurt. But that's the way it goes. The unsteady setting, the unsteady. There's probably a $5 bill somewhere just floating up and down the river from the tip jar to musician to tip jar to musician, like an eternal ferry of good intentions. No, no, no. Run this way. These two are pretty reliable. Where does their money come from anyways? Government check maybe? Nah, then they'd only tip like that on the 1st and 15th. Maybe they fence stereos or something. This kid got any money? Kid. In his own little orbit, he ought to stop and think about who's creating all the atmosphere. They think it's natural or something, like it's just what the place sounds like, a cheap illusion. He's way gone, reflecting, or pretending he doesn't see the tip jar. These kooks are really going for it. It's good. You can't always hope for much with these fly-by-night crowds. Could have been some deep tiki fanatics getting uptight about Serrano's tape machine or something, but these folks are tourists wherever they go. Nobody down here. Come on, kid, you ain't got any money? What the hell? $2? This guy's barely here. He's like basically sugary wet sand until the morning. He left a couple bucks by his shoes here, or dropped it. That's probably for the band. If it's for anything at all. What about you, Will? Got any money? Oh. Will never has any money. Good for him. This guy is keeping some odd company tonight. Better just let him be. Someone left a 20 here. Is that for Patrick Serrano? Maybe there's enough to change, enough change in the jar to split it. It's only fair. I think we pretty much covered everything. Got all the money we could. Hello, Joe? This is Joe. I got some log updates. 131936986 Hendricks Guillermina 6 3 miles 4 driving 12 sleeping. Patch lessons 199764. Then it's either a 4 or a 9. Let's say 957 Blankenship Porsche 0 1 miles 14 driving 2 sleeping. 750-363-292. Moses' son, 85, 5 miles, 16 sleeping. 90-5908, 12 sleeping. What is this? I just want to see if... Does this just go forever? I feel like this is another thing that just goes forever. Like the drink order thing? Is that what this is? Is it just gonna go forever? Huh? Huh? You just expect me to waste even more of my time? Like I just got all this time to waste? Huh? Well, you got the wrong number, buddy. What? Who? Caller hangs up. You got time for that. Not again. You won't get me with that again. Alright. I'm sure we could just sit here and listen to music, but I'm ready to get back on the road. Let's see if we can check on old boy real quick. Doesn't seem like it. Let's head to the dock. Feel like I've done everything here that was meant to be done. We found all the collectibles. We talked to everybody. We got tips for old boy. We heard the music. We got the calls. I'm good to go. Well, that was a pleasant detour. Yes, ma'am. To Shannon, ready to get moving? How about you round up old man if you can tear him free? Oh, man. Come on. I did that. But he didn't let me. Also, I think we need Will too, right? I mean, unless he's just gonna stay here. Come on, old man. Yeah, you're right about that. I never quite thought of it that way. Hey, we're getting ready to head out. Who are you talking to? Noticing Shannon for the first time. Oh, nah, it's nothing. Hey, let's get out of here. Work to be done, right? Who was he talking to? This place is just like the Zero. It's like a water Zero, pretty much. Except I'm not in control this time. On the Zero, I could drive around as much as I want, but it seems like this is just something that we're all along for the ride. Or can I? Can I steer this thing? No, I cannot steer. It's easy to miss, but beneath that quarter-acre swarm of moths, that Calosamia bidentata, the tunnel moth, they usually live in forests, is a quarter-acre sunflower orchard, and beneath that sunflower orchard, there are two small lots with small houses, positioned so that they just about butt right up against each other. The houses are empty now of human life. There are no sign of a person or anything living except for moss and overgrowth. There are some pipes and bolted in the cave wall near the perimeter, and a few stone scars where the other pipes have been ripped away by scavengers. These once supported the large grow lamps that fed the sunflowers. The lamps are gone now. Once this crop of sunflowers is picked away, it's unlikely anything else will grow here. But lichen, moss, and rock formation. The tunnel moth will move on. The house will be visible again, at least until somebody strips them for building materials, or the river washes them away. The houses were once inhabited by two sisters. Why they built their houses so closely together or lived in any proximity at all is a mystery, since they clearly despise each other. Some think they were tricked into buying the houses. It's possible the neighbors' houses were an attempt at reconciliation. It didn't work. If anything, close quarters just turned them something against each other or something, until those decades of closely held resentment and animosities were pretty near boiling over. All that energy had to go somewhere, and both sisters had the same idea. They took up gardening. They both cultivated sunflowers, an improbable crop for this location, too improbable to be a coincidence. Maybe the sunflowers had some special meaning for them, or maybe when one sister saw her rival sowing the impossible seeds, she knew that once she couldn't bear to be outdone. Ugh. Which sister had the greener thumb, we'll never know. The stalks tangled, the roots knotted, and the seeds mixed. Those gangly sunflowers merged two lots into one undifferentiated field. The two sisters moved out, probably around the time the moss started showing up. Of course, there was no selling the lots then, overgrown and bug-chewed as they were. In fact, if those sisters ever tried to sell, they'd be in for one rude shock. Not long ago, a property tax clerk, having seen the two adjoining lots registered to the same last name, presumed they belonged to the same owner and erased the legal border between them. That's how it be sometimes, you know? What are we pulling up on now? Valkyrie and Blue lounged below deck. Clara, Kate, and I started to do some business by the telephone. Act 4, Scene 4. A phone. Bam, bam, bam. Conway, I guess we're gonna be here for a minute. Looks like they have a few calls to make. I should probably call someone too. I should probably call someone too. Oh yeah, who are you calling? I should call Julian. I don't know, just whoever picks up. I should call Julian. Oh wow, he's got a phone up there? I bet they all share a phone, right? All the birds. The big bird phone up in the sky. Yep, that's what they call it. That's ridiculous. He used one at the museum. Makes sense. Well, I guess I'll head back aboard. Might see if I can find any of the good stuff stashed in maybe in the spice cabinet, maybe in the medicine cabinet. Huh? That's where it belongs. Hell, who am I talking to? Don't listen to me, kid. I'll see you in a few. Damn, Conway, what the hell? You've really just started letting yourself go, huh? You don't even care anymore. This man just jumped in the water. My phone now. Can you hear that? You have 23 new messages.
I remember going to a house in a rustic county, Maine. I was 2. We were moving, and we were driving up in a white Nissan station wagon with faux wood paneling. And it was the first time that I'd seen the house that I was going to live in for the next 7 years.
Being washed in the bathroom sink. I was just parking my car. I had to parallel park it. The street that I live on was full, but there was but it just got cold today for like the first time in a long time. So I had the heat on. And whenever you have the heat on in an old car, it definitely smells a certain way. It smells kind of like, it almost smells, you can like smell that it's hot, and you can feel it too, but the smell that it is like from the car itself, like from the engine, and there's been a lot of smoking going on in that car, so it's not exactly a pleasant smell, but it's definitely strong and it's definitely there. And with the windows down, you can also smell that it's cold. So you get both. And that feeling together is super familiar if you've been in old cars a lot. Anyway, I was parking and I had to go in and out about it like 3 times, but when I finally finished parking, it was like perfect. Both wheels against the curb, and that's when I had like the double memory. When I first learned how to drive, my mom taught me how to parallel park. She told me the story about when her dad, who was a motorcycle cop, taught her how take out a dime, and if she could fit the dime between the wheel of her car and the curb of the street, then she had to do it again. She didn't do that for me, but every time that I got upset about having to do it again, she would tell me that at least I didn't have to be a dime's distance away from the curb. I learned how to drive in the fall, and I got that snow a lot during that time. And I don't know when my mom learned to drive.
Right on.
Oh, probably going to school. I can't sleep because the trees are scraping against my window, and it reminds me of a tongue scraping against my skin.
What? What?
What?
Yeah, what?
I'm about to cross an ocean. I worry about my dog. Can't sleep anywhere near a place. The gas is sold. Not when it's being sold, but when it's not being sold. It was tough to hold on to this thing, but yeah, my hands are pretty damp. I remember the number 10 in a flashcard with a turkey on it. It had a yellow background.
The frogs are too loud.
Not a whole lot. I guess I was walking. I was in a stroller in Treetop Park in Florida. My mother accidentally pushed me into a spider web. I freaked out a lot. That's the first thing I remember.
We were sent for. I keep hearing these noises whenever I close my eyes. It's like bells ringing. But the bells aren't metal bells or ceramic bells. They're the kind of bells like normally hear. They're like this weird. I can't even describe the material. It's just resonant. Just ringing resonant. And as soon as I open my eyes again, there's nothing.
I remember driving across an old dirt road. My birthday at the party at McDonald's in Hawaii. I got a toy that I didn't like. I broke it. Getting caught in the jungle trip. I was crying so that mom picture rally that my parents to take me out, and they missed it. One of those two. Seriously? Whether I wear boots or sneakers, my feet always feel damp. Cold and damp.
Well, I was hoping that you'd be able to tell me why I can't sleep. It seems like it's been a long time, and it seems like it's been it's time to sleep now.
End of new messages.
Right on. Will, you have a very interesting box there, my friend. Very interesting. Tazra, don't you go diving in too. It's actually really cold and kind of dangerous. Did he say where he was going? He's looking for the good stuff. I see. Still thirsty. Well, Kate keeps some diet soda in the broom closet, but you didn't hear it from me. It's next to the bleach. Bring a flashlight. Oh no, I don't think that's what he's looking for. So, any important messages? Every single one. To Ezra, where are you headed tonight, small man? I'm looking for my family. I'm just following my friends. I don't know. I just follow my friends. Is this young woman your friend? We met Ezra earlier tonight, and he's been very helpful. I'm hoping we can return the favor once we get back above ground. Poor kid was sleeping at the bus station and just lost track of his folks. What? I don't think... That's not true. He was a bird. He'll be alright. He's more at home down here than any of us. Trust me, I have an eye for it. Oh my god. Are those pool noodles? Kate, thanks for calling. I guess I should turn the audio back down a little bit. I cranked it up so that you guys could hear. Kate, thanks for calling. Kate, how are you feeling? I hope I didn't wake you up. No, I can't really get comfortable enough to sleep anymore, except in the car. Oh, not driving. In the passenger seat reclined. Eric drove me around the reservoir this afternoon and I got an hour or two in. I couldn't get settled in bed, so I was just watching TV, some cooking show about high concept junk food, and everyone from my high school's chemistry class was there, making cupcakes out of old bicycle parts. I think I might have dozed off a bit, actually. Honestly, this baby can come out whenever he wants. I'm completely over it. Ooh, she's pregnant. Don't rush it. Just try to get some rest. Good for you. You sound really confident. Don't just try to get some rest. That's what Eric says. I guess it'll happen when it happens. I mean, obviously, the phone line makes a horrible sound. Summer, whoa, God, the phone's down here is such a mess. Hey, Kate, I really appreciate you checking in. I have your pager, and so does Eric, just in case I'm too, distracted or whatever. I'll let you go. I should try to eat something. Reishi will help you with joint pain. Try some of that lecithin oil I left just to help settle your stomach. Munch on a bitter hedgehog cap. That should release some of your intestinal discomfort. Yeah, that sounds fine. Okay, thanks. Maybe I'll just chew on some ice. Talk to you soon, Kate. Hopefully. Who is this? Just checking on a client. Did I mention I'm a birth doula? Is everything okay? Wow, does that fit with being a tugboat? How does that fit with being a tugboat captain? That's like a nurse, right? Well, no, I don't have any formal medical training or licensing, just a lot of experience. I think most women who hire me mainly want someone in the delivery room who doesn't treat childbirth like it's some kind of disease to be cured. I mean, no hard feelings against doctors, but they have their own process and it can be pretty alienating sometimes. Is everything okay? Oh wow, does that fit? Is everything okay? Everything's great. Sounds like she's ready. Some women just know. It's amazing others are caught totally by surprise. Your friend went back on board. He's been drinking a bit. Don't worry, he doesn't know about your soda stash. He's been drinking a bit. Oh, I should have pointed him towards the head. Who is this? This is Shannon. This is Kate. I don't know who this is. Unless I just missed something. Nadia. Clara. Why am I drawing a blank on Clara? I don't recognize her. Nadia, I'm glad you phoned. I was just thinking of you. Clara, sorry I didn't call this week. I've been traveling constantly. You're sitting by the phone waiting for my call? That's so nice. Sorry I didn't even hit the call. That's fine. I visited the hospital yesterday. I went to visit Uncle Andreas, but they moved him. Now he's in a hospice care facility run by some old Polish nun. Everyone says it's very nice. I asked them about visiting and they said he didn't want any visitors. He's just being stubborn. Yes, it's typical of Andreas. I was thinking maybe if you came by to visit, he would see you. All those afternoons you two go drinking beers by the river. Don't you think it would mean a lot to him if he could say goodbye? If he could say goodbye to you in person? We must take him at his word. Oh, Nadia, I'd never make it back in time anyways. It's true. You're a long way from home, Clara. I suppose it can't be helped. Oh, here's Mother at the door. We're going to try again to see him. I hope the tour's going well. Love you. Be careful. I don't know who that is. My sister's back home. She's very depressing to me this morning. My uncle Andres is terminally ill and refusing visitors, and Nadia is making a stir about it. It doesn't bother you that your uncle is refusing visitors? I'm sorry to hear that. Are you close? It doesn't bother you that your uncle is refusing visitors? He's a bear of a man. Wild animals, it's what they do. When it's time to die, they wander off into the forest alone. No, I said it wrong. They don't wander. They make a pilgrimage. We must always take the dying at their word. Their motives are beyond our understanding. The older man, he swam back to the mammoth. No emergency, I hope. He's looking for the toilet. Oh, I hope there's paper. It's been a busy night. He's looking for the toilet. Well, I hope he finds it before we embark. He seems unsteady on his feet as it is. Brandon approached. I don't suppose any of you folks are headed past the Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces. Not on this run, but maybe we'll be coming back this way in a few hours. Can't get a hold of your ride? Maybe we'll come back. Well, I may still be here then. It's no big deal. I'll just hang out and read or something until it's time to head back to work. Hey, you folks are traveling with that old guy, right? With the leg. Is he okay? I saw him earlier tonight. He came by the storage facility for some files. He totally bit it on the staircase. He's okay though, right? I think so. I don't know him too well. He's a passenger. Sure, he's just been drinking a bit. You know how it is. He just seems preoccupied to me. Yeah, I got that feeling too. Back at the storage facility, he was asking a lot of weird questions and seemed distracted, like spiritually. Well, have a good night, or morning almost. All right. Turtles back there getting restless. It's that time of night where they feel like they gotta start kicking rocks. That right there is Ratliff Monuments. If you ever need a headstone card for loved ones, I mean, Violet Ratliff, never married, nevertheless bore 6 children: Earl, Kelly, Barb, Ron, young Earl, and Beauty. And for each birth, she locked the doors of Ratliff Monument for only 1 day, even with young Earl, when she was in labor for 36 hours. Well, that's what folks said, and I met her, and I believed them. She said she was an unyielding disposition of a cliffside. None of Violet's children had any desire to go on into monument making. Earl was more interested in car speakers. Beauty thought it was all a bit ghoulish. Barb was never good at her hands. Beauty thought it was all a bit ghoulish. There was some truth to that. Very little demand for monuments to the living, after all. The run of the shop fell to at last to young Earl, the only Ratliff still at home when his mother finally passed at 82, and who then had the honor of engraving her headstone. He's done well for the most part. The shop was damaged in a flood several years ago. His craftsmanship has suffered over time. The shop was damaged in a flood several years ago. The showcase, a mock cemetery out front, was mostly washed away. Stone monuments bobbing violently in the first torrents of the flood eventually sank and spread along the channel's bottom downriver, an elongated graveyard for no human loss. Visited by eyeless fish and adorned with indifferent wreaths of algae. If a few stray stones ended up at the bottom of the lake Leith too, well, we'll never know. Young Earl is the last of his short line professionally, and there's nobody around qualified to carve his monument, so he's already claimed one of those at the bottom of the river for himself. Jeez, that's a bit dark. That's a bit ghoulish, some might say. Ezra taught us a card game. Shannon, Ezra, the old man, and I stopped at the Radvansky Center to make some quick cash. I mean, I'm going to make stops along the way, okay? If I'm on a boat, Act 4, Scene 5. The Radvansky Center. Is this like a casino or something? Mimi, good morning. Bags isn't feeling well. Long night. Poor kitty. What are you watching? Security tape from last night. Daryl left the lights on again. Should we slash his tires? I'll leave a stern note on his desk. Spare the rod. What are we doing today? Right. This is weird. You know the old vending machine? The one that only has tomato juice? Ew. No, the old one that just stopped refilling. I mean, they just stopped refilling. Remember, we rolled it out onto the deck last August, and some scavengers stripped it for metal in the middle of the night. Daryl cut his hand cleaning up after them, and it got infected. Remember? No. Okay. Anyway, the rest of it ended up in the coat room until finally Daryl was piling it into a big bag for the trash barge to pick up, and he came across this box lost behind all the junk. Check it out. This looks old. Yeah, there's a bunch of videotapes and completed questionnaires. I looked up the reference number and it's never been processed, so I guess that's what we're doing today. There's no date on it. We'll just have to make one up, unless there's some footage of a calendar or something in here. Flipping through the questionnaire. I guess these are the old tests before we started doing the video exit interviews. That's annoying. Yeah, let's see how did we do this. I'll run the tape, you interpret the questionnaire, I'll type it up. The Moderner's bookshelf with the fancy vintage turntable. So ostentatious. So Daryl. What? That's my bookshelf. Oh no. Haha. But you, like, grew out of it or something, right? It ended up in the lab somehow. I keep my books on a pile now. It's easier to find what I'm looking for. Never. What shelf is that book on? Only, well, it's somewhere in the pile. Pragmatic. Wow, I haven't seen this poster in a while. I think that was mine from college. Yeah, definitely. Oh, right, Daryl swapped it out and the redesign. Now it's... What's there now? Yeah, it's that weird... I can't picture it. I mean, I can picture the wall, and there's definitely something hung there. That's gonna bug me. Want me to go look? It's just down the hall. No, it's okay. Alright. I mean, can I leave this room, or... I don't know what I'm doing. I can't leave the room. Alright, before we sit down and take this questionnaire, I want to see what this chair is all about. I thought that I could leave the room, but I cannot. I bet there's something, like if I sit here for a minute or something like that, but no. Ain't gonna do it. Because this game will definitely let you waste your time. If you want to. Oh. Oh, okay. This should be some basic information and the first control test. Subject's general disposition. Jen looks over the questionnaire document from the envelope. Question. Why are you here? It's a scheduled ferry stop, not my final destination. The other passengers said we could make some quick cash taking the test. I don't know. You know, we came for some money. Pragmatic. Demographic category. Question. What's the first thing you remember? I remember a bird cage. I remember a small box of gears. I remember spilled orange juice. Is this Shannon? If it's Shannon, then it's probably gears. It's hard for me to tell the difference between them. Working class. Do you think you should use old categories or the new categories? Oh, right. Will the computer even still take the old ones? We're still in the menu. Okay, in that case, put it in precarious. Sure. Oh, I forgot name. Yeah. Okay, so it's Shannon. It says Marquez on the file. Who's Marquez? Marquez. I don't know. Marquez. Are you sure? Whoa, Marquez. Are you sure? Yeah, that's what it says. Do you know her? That can't be. No, that's not her. Did she come alone or with a group? I don't know. There was an extended monitoring tape here too. We could check on the dock when she showed up. This is weird. No, definitely not. Oh, she's traveling with one of those creepy distillery guys. Him? Nah, he just looks like some old dirty old drifter. Maybe you're right. It's hard to tell in this light. Oh, it's... Wait, who is that? That guy in the hoodie. What? I've never seen him before. Really? He looks so damn familiar. I thought maybe he was a former intern or something. He's a little old for that, right? No, I don't recognize him. Sorry. You're all deja vu this morning. It's spooky. Sorry, just one of those days, I guess. I thought he went... Oh, I guess he did get back off. Never mind. I like how he swam to the ship to find more booze. My man! Huh, I guess the old man is on dinghy guard duty. A noble assignment. So, who was this lady? Oh, right. Well, do you remember with WEVP TV? No? Okay. It was a community television station. The Consolidated Power Company had to fund it as like a punishment for owning too much of the broadcast spectrum or something. Oh, they used to screen your videos, right? Yeah. It was like a co-op. I did some maintenance and they gave me a slot to show my work. And they had that naked banjo guy late at night. Yeah, that's mainly what everyone remembers. I guess their whole mandate was community expression. He was certainly expressive. Oh wait, was WEVP the one that... The flood, right? Yeah. Damn. So, Shannon Marquez, did she have a naked banjo show too? What? No. Let me guess. Which of the following sentences best describe you? I grieve for fading memories. I am haunted, unable to forget. She had an exercise show. No, I've never heard of Shannon Marquez. It was a Weaver Marquez I knew. She worked at the station for a bit, and then she left on kind of weird terms, actually. Anyways, where were we? Yeah, as we know, that's Shannon's cousin, who we're still kind of looking for, but we have not found yet. Okay, how do we rank her from the control test? Without turning around to look, please describe the following objects. Bookshelf. I don't know. I think I had like 4 shelves. It is shaped like a snake. It is shaped like it is nondescript. It reminds me of a museum. It reminds me of a department store. It reminds me of a library. It reminds me of a library. Poster. I remember circles. I remember it was scientific. I don't remember what was depicted on the poster. There were circles. I have a poster in my workshop. A vintage advertisement for vacuum tubes. I have a poster in my workshop. Try to resistor values. I don't keep posters on my walls. Vacuum tubes. Lighting. 1 lamp. Just kind of dim. 1 lamp. Average, I guess. Average. Okay. Wait, how many shelves were there? I missed it. It was either 3 or 4. I might have been wrong. What the heck am I... Is there any pie left in the break room? Daryl finished it off before he went home last night. Daryl's on thin ice. You're declaring enemies left and right. What? Who else? That other Marquez woman, Weaver, didn't you? Maybe I misunderstood. I thought I detected some animosity. Oh no, nothing like that. She wasn't the kind of person you could like or dislike, really. She was just there. And all you could do was accept her, like magnetism or gravity. Please describe from memory the following objects. Seating in the room behind you. Strangely comfortable, predictably austere, a couch and a chair. I don't know. It's kind of comfortable, I guess. Lighting in the room behind you, delicate, dim, buzzing fluorescence, and a standing lamp. Air quality. In the last room in which you fell asleep. My workshop is poorly ventilated. It smells like solder and burnt plastic. I think I fell asleep on the boat for a minute. The air was warm but refreshing. I don't remember where I last fell asleep. We probably fell asleep on the boat. I know I would. Well, this Marquez is pretty normal so far. Oh yeah, they're definitely different people. I just wonder if they're related or something. I never imagined Weaver having any family, but I guess everyone has some family, right? Reading distracted. What? Oh, sure, probably. Okay, let's go for the next test. How are we making money doing this anyways? Ooh, kitty cat. That's a chunky kitty cat too. Jen, look who it is. Aw, I missed that kitty. I forgot what became of the white one. Her name was Coconut, and she disappeared without a trace. Easy come, easy go. I wouldn't say easy. I had to leave food on the dock for a week before she'd come inside. She only stuck around for a month or two. She probably saw quite a lot of, you probably saw quite a lot of her. I remember you were working nights then. She was a nocturnal creature. That's right, I remember. No, let's go pet this cat. Ooh wee. There's an apple. There's something. I don't know what that is. An apple and a pear for sure. Pet the cat. Why can't you pet the cat? Why would you put a cat here that I can't pet? I'm not even a cat person. I said apple, pear. Just in case we gotta remember anything. What did I just pick up? Cat food? I think I just picked up cat food. Damn, she got a wobble when she walked too. Look at them hips. Shakira, Shakira. She got them Latino hips. Wait, I don't remember this test. Oh, did we cut this one? What's the questionnaire like? No, this is just sometimes if I can't make it in for a few days, I might leave a note to feed the cats. For the test subjects, wow, how do we know they'll do it? I write it on university letterhead. Jen, that's unethical, huh? At least I don't use university property and research equipment to make weird video art. Very well then, I contradict myself. I wonder which is the nobler transgression. I'll settle that question. It's nobler to feed kitties. Oh, here's another extended monitoring tape from the waiting room. Ooh, at least we got to feed the cat. Busy night. There he is again, sleeping. Where do I know him from? It's going to drive me up the wall. Does he work at the university? Oh, that sounds familiar. Yeah, I think he might have worked there a long time ago. Maybe when I was an undergrad. Ah, the Paleolithic. I think I'm saying that right. I thought he looked a bit rugged. That's right, Jen. I went to college during the Stone Age. What was your major? Fire. I don't think he was a professor. Maybe fire. I don't think he was a professor. Maybe staff. It's been so long. Sometimes I wish I'd just barreled through like you did instead of taking time off before grad school. I'm sure it was the right thing to do at the time. Yeah, or the only thing. I was such a mess. Did I ever tell you about that? My boyfriend died suddenly. It was in my last year of college. Yeesh. Oh, poor thing. It's okay. It was a long time ago, but yeah, it really shook me up. Back then he was studying astronomy. We were both really into experimental music. We took a few art classes together. That's so sad. Sorry, never mind. No, it's okay. That's the thing, actually. I mean, that's what shook me up about it. It was just this random accident that never should have happened. And so sudden you never could have seen it coming. He was back home visiting his parents and fell off a roof. If we remember, what's his face fell off the roof. That was one of the reasons Conway stopped drinking, because Lysette's son, the lady who owns the antique shop, her son fell off the roof because he took over the roofing job for Conway because he was passed out drunk. I wonder if that's him. If not, that's a very weird coincidence. Damn, I know what you mean. You can't predict what that kind of, what do you call it, freak accident kind of thing? So this, what we're watching right now, takes place in the far future. My psychiatrist says that's why I'm such a pessimist. Well, I think you're remarkably upbeat, all the things considered. I mean, you know, that thing with your boyfriend in the roof, but also what happened to this TV station. Acts of God. You think? No, I mean, that's what you call it. That's what you say when it's nobody's fault. What a small world. I don't think I believe in that. What? Acts of God. Yeah, but there has to be a word for something completely shitty happens for no reason, right? I guess it's kind of archaic. Jim flips to the questionnaire. Question. First, please use the blank space below to describe your general feeling about television. If you have difficulty summarizing your emotions sequentially, or have too many different feelings to fit in a blank space, you may also use the back of this paper. Television is my preferred window to the world. I probably spend too much time watching television. I have mixed feelings about television. You were asked to watch several videos. How many of the videos did you watch? Just one? All of them? I watched all of them. Speaking of the TV station, you were saying something earlier about that Marquez girl. Oh, right. I was talking about Weaver. Yeah. What exactly happened with her? You said she left on weird terms. Yes. Well, so actually she just stopped showing up. That was pretty normal. It was all volunteer, right? Community television. Yeah, people didn't really give much advanced notice. They just got bored and drifted away. It was more like an art project than a job for most people. Weaver Marquez helped manage the archives, like filing and sorting old tapes for broadcast. I think she was pretty smart. She probably could have been more help fixing equipment or something, but she seemed content just to organize tapes. Nobody ever talked to her much, so when she left, no big deal. But then a couple months later, we started getting these bizarre interventions. The camera focused on a table, passed through a doorway, then focused on another table, which object present on the first table was also present on the second table. The picture was too blurry to make anything out. You should have these VCRs professionally cleaned. I'm writing my number on the back of the page. Sorry, I kind of spaced out on that slow pan to the door. I didn't even notice the tables. Someone would be doing a show in this normal time slot, and then suddenly the feed would cut. We'd still be broadcasting, but our signal was totally jammed. Oh, like interference? I mean, total blackout. Then this video would come on, clearly shot in our studio. At some point, it was her, Weaver Marquez. She'd be standing in the middle of the studio, facing the camera. That's pretty creepy. At the beginning of the video, you were asked to make a note of memory from earlier in the day and associate it with one of the objects on the table on screen. Which of the objects did you choose? The feather. Was this object present on the second on-screen table after the camera passed through the doorway? Not the same one, but another one. Yeah, I don't know. It's a bit fuzzy in my memory, but I do remember the sound, this awful hum, like that was how she did it. She made a hum so sinister it drove our signal into hiding. That's pretty creepy. Good lord, how many of these are there? 6 total? You were asked to make note of a fond memory from childhood and associate with one of the objects on the table. I already said a feather, man. Yo, you already asked me this. Then there were these on-screen captions, exactly the same, on-screen captions, exactly the same every time. I don't remember what they said. Something creepy. It's pretty strange. The video began in one room, passed through a doorway into another room. In each room, a piece of music was playing. Was it the same piece of music in both rooms? Yes, they were the same. Was the music in the first room optimistic or pessimistic? Optimistic. Was the music in the second room pessimistic? We had a title maker at the station, but it was different font. It was a different font. I guess she recorded it at WEVP and then took it somewhere else to add the captions. I don't know. We all did a lot of speculating about how she made the video, why she made the video. Yeah, why not just broadcast it normally? It was a community television, right? Couldn't be any worse than a naked banjo guy. Yeah, exactly. Some people thought it was a protest or something, but I know she didn't have anything against the station. To me, it felt kind of urgent. Like she would have done her broadcast to the proper channels, but something came up. A crisis or something. Well, her family lost the house, if we remember. The video began with footage of the outside building and then entered the building. Was it day or night? It was night. When the camera exited the building, it was night. How often did it happen? A lot, dozens of times. It went on for years. We even thought about asking the police to look into it, but it's so hard to locate a pirate signal. I mean, it could have come from any direction, you know? It's all just waves. Exactly. The camera passed through several doors with inscribed labels. Please write down the sounds you heard as the video passed through the doors with the following inscriptions. Travel. Diesel. Nourishment. Fish tank coming in, sort of clean coins fall into a cup. Someone hammer on wood. Fish tank. Sleep. Fire burning. Weaver's video showed up again right before the flood, actually. I think it might have been the last thing we ever broadcast. Weaver. What are you doing? Are you some kind of TV witch? I think I got a spider web on my leg. Okay, location updated effect on emotional memory. Subject is bored but not confused. Probably just came in a little distracted. Of course, sorrow, while recalling anxiety, produced a standard effect on introspective index. Just record the whole set as is, with a note like, yielded no information. Damn, this is taking a while, Daryl. This is taking a while. Daryl will be heartbroken if this is the only box we get through today. The poor thing. He is like a paper butterfly. I would say a moth. She just stood up very rapidly. Where's my money? Left. There's a thing there. Oh, look. Can you read the date? Damn. I can't read it either. It may not have been current, even been current. I remember for a while we had a calendar up that was like years behind. I think Daryl liked the picture. What was it? Best friends. Every month there was a different pair of animals that were friends. Oh, that's adorable. I think I'm going to be sick. You don't remember that? That weird intern brought it in from home. What was his name? Who? Oh, you remember. He was always like, I mean, we could make fun of him for... Damn, he's almost completely gone from my brain. So many interns coming and going. I guess I didn't even bother remembering their names. I wonder who was working back when this was recorded. Is there a tape of the monitoring room? Yeah, here it is. Oh, before we check that out, did she flip the calendar forward or backwards? Backward. Oh, weird. They usually flip it forward. Ooh. Ooh, ooh. Cat works the place. Ooh. Look at that cat. Ooh. Oh, chunky boy. Ezekiel's like, nah, man, I'm not a cat person. I'm out. Oh, there she goes. Wait, do you think... Did she follow them out? Oh, well, here's the last extended monitoring tape from the dock when they left. Maybe we get a cat now. Ooh. See, told you he was one of those distillery guys. I guess you were right. Those other guys came to pick him up for work, maybe? I don't like how they all hang out together. It's creepy. We hang out together and work together. Yeah, but it's not... They're like more than coworkers. I don't know. I just get this awful feeling whenever I see them. Like I knew them once, but not anymore. Like when they make up a dead person to look like an old photograph of themselves. Sort of familiar, sort of strange. Yeah, exactly. There ought to be a word for that. Wait, what? Bye, Kitty. They look like nice enough people. I'm sure she was very happy with them. Yeah. So, this has been a bit of a memory trip for you, huh? I bet you didn't expect these old tapes to tear up so much. How does it feel for these people to come up again? Weaver Marquez and Wise Will, and what was your boyfriend's name? The one who died in college? Charlie. Yeah, it's kind of bittersweet experience, actually. Like looking at photographs of the people who died. That is so crazy, man. That is so crazy. Gone but not forgotten. No, not forgotten. You're right. Everybody's intertwined. Everybody. Alright, so that is going to be the end of the first part of Act 4. Again, these are going a little longer than what's expected. This ended up being about 3 hours and 20 minutes. I was going to split it up into like 3 different parts, but then I was like, no, that's just going to take forever. And it, like, watching back through it, it was hard to find the best parts to split up into 3 separate things. I just felt like that would, like, it kind of needed to be, if it's not all in one go, it at least needs to be, and like, you know, you have the first half, then you have the second half. I just didn't want to split it up too much, because then you're starting to forget things that happened in the first, you know, in the first video, if you're splitting it into 3 separate days. So, yeah, so this is going to be the end of part 2. Sorry that it's so long. I know it's like, you know, 2 hours or something like that. But, it's just kind of how this game is going, and we're almost at the end here. So, and I hope you enjoyed this one, Act 4, Part 2, which will be the final part of Act 4, will come out tomorrow. And then after that, I'm going to have the you know, the in-betweener episode, you know, how we found out about that. We're going to have that after that. And then we're going to be heading to Act 4, into Act 5. But yeah, other than that, guys, hopefully you guys are, like I said before, enjoying it, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.